Good morning, everyone. Now we are going to start with the chapter number two of new curriculum. Curriculum code is 402, the information technology. Chapter number two consisting of the topic which is self-management. We all know that it is an essential part of our life, managing ourselves. Session two, knowing own strength and weaknesses. Let's start. The best knowledge to know the world, to know others, comes by knowing ourselves only. When we know what is our strength, what our weaknesses are, how we can overcome our fear, how we can improve ourselves, and so forth, our growth journey begins and we start achieving big and all fronts. Personal front, professional front, moral front, spiritual front, and so on. Our satisfaction and happiness starts increasing from that time and our worries and fears start disappearing. And this is what we are going to talk about in this particular session. Let's start. Ourselves. Knowing ourselves means calmly observing ourselves for all our qualities, beliefs, traits, emotions, feelings, behaviors. Knowing oneself takes conscious effort. Means we have to very conscious to observe what are the things that you are doing, what are your qualities, what are your beliefs, what are your traits, what are your emotions which are coming at the time of which kind of a spot, feelings of yours, your behavior in front of others or maybe towards your own self. In other words, knowing oneself means understanding our strengths, our weaknesses, our dreams and desires, our interest towards anything, our likes and dislikes, our abilities and traits, our tolerance and limitations, our belief and values, our priorities, our relationship, our body, and many other things about ourselves. Means you have to know yourself, whatsoever your reactions are, whatsoever your emotions are in any given point or in against of any kind of happenings or happens whatsoever is going or whatsoever going to be your reactions. Everything is included in knowing ourselves. After knowing our strengths and weaknesses, we need to analyze them. We need to think what are our strengths. If it is strength, that is means what? That we are already good at it. Means we can achieve, we can do those things very easily because I am having a strength, I am having so much of quality, I am having my command upon those things. So those going to be my qualities. Now, if we want to leverage our qualities further, means we want to strengthen our strength, that means we need not to do lot many efforts to achieve. Now, in case of a weaknesses, that actually differs, that actually reverses. As we are having weaknesses, the topics which falls under the weaknesses, what are the areas or the gray areas of our understanding, those going to be the weaknesses of us. Now, the weakness is going to hold us back to achieve anything. What we can do, we actually, after calculating the weaknesses, after knowing the weaknesses of ours, we can hence improve them by taking major steps toward improving those weaknesses and develop them as quality of ours, making them as strength of ours. Understanding the both our strength and the weaknesses can help us to realize our real potential. What does it mean? Potential means what we can achieve through them. If I'm not knowing my weaknesses, that means here in these particular topics, in these particular areas, I cannot work with my full potential. If I'm knowing that, that's going to help me to strengthen those points. मतलब मुझे अगर मालूम है कि ये सारी चीजों में मैं बहुत पारंगत नहीं हूं, बहुत एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूं, तो मुझे ये मौका मिलता है कि मेरा पोटेंशियल कहां पर है, मैं मेरा ध्यान या मेरा स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट्स क्या क्या है, मैं उस तरफ ज्यादा काम करूंगा या उस तरफ ज्यादा झुकाव होगा मेरा, उस उन चीजों को ज्यादा करूंगा जिस पे मेरा स्ट्रेंथ है. अगर मैं जानता ही नहीं कि मेरा वीकनेस और स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, तो फिर बहुत मुश्किल है किसी भी गोल को अचीव करना या किसी भी गोल को सेट करना. सो इट्स बेटर टू एनालाइज योर weaknesses and the strength to get the purposeful, or to get or to know your full potential. Means how you can work, what are the areas where you are having strong command on. After knowing our strengths and the weaknesses and analyzing them, now we have to prepare the list of the strengths and the weaknesses. Both are required. Strength are something that comes naturally to us. We need to take out we need to take out time and think about what comes naturally to us. Maybe someone may be good at staying focused on goals, which mean in spite of distraction in daily routine at work, one can keep the focus on the goal always at the back of the mind. This trait helps in achieving the goals and meeting deadlines. Means whatever the work you might be doing, whatever kind of a workforce you are having, or the task you are having at your workplaces, if you always keep your goals and what are the goals you need to achieve at the back of your mind whenever you are working, you are certainly going to achieve that within the time limit, because you will be aware of what are the things that you need to accomplish and what is your time limitation or what is your limitations for that. One should focus more on strength and take advantages of the same, and side by side make efforts to improve the weaknesses. Why we should focus on the strength more? Because we are already expert of our strengthened areas. But we cannot leave the weaknesses alone, because we need to strengthen those gray areas as well. So we need to work upon them simultaneously. Now, working with our strength does not need too much of investment of our time and effort. If you are expert of something, if that area is your strength, you need not to invest that much of time. Means you will do it with an ease. It is about seeking opportunities rather than the problem. What is your strength? If somebody allocate that kind of a job to you, means it's kind of an opportunity for you. Instead of you'll think that it's going to be a hell of a problem if I'll do this. Means you will feel like, yeah, I got the opportunity to accomplish the task within the time limit, maybe before of it. Dwelling too much on the weaknesses may lead to negativity, low self-esteem, and a decrease in enthusiasm and overall performance. Means if you will dwell upon the weaknesses too much, what will happen? What will, if you will stress that, that will lead to negativity. Means you will not able to do the things in proper time, or you will not able to manage the things properly, and that will take you towards the negativity, or your overall performance may suffer. So we need to avoid those gray areas, those problematic areas, those negative areas of ours. Though working on uh, on our gray areas or our less potential areas contribute to, or it strengthens our personal growth. Means if my gray areas will be converted into our strengthened areas, then what will happen? My overall personality will groom properly. Means I will be almost expert of everything. To find out about the strengths and the weaknesses, we need to carefully observe ourselves with an unbiased view. And the same time, we should not feel bad about your weaknesses or our weaknesses. Means to find out what are the areas where we are having literally grip on, and what are the areas where we are not having that much of a confidence. Those are actually analyzing, or rather finding out by carefully observing ourselves, the strength and the weakness areas. Now, as we feel proud that we are having a strong hold upon these areas, we should not feel bad about the areas where we are having the weaknesses. We should have a kind of a tolerance there. We should think positively that these may be my weaknesses, but we will try to overcome step by step on those, or we will try to learn the things which need to make those weaknesses as strengthen or strength of ours. Rather just behave like calm, observe, and then create two lists, one containing your strength and one containing your weaknesses. Means we need to prepare two lists simultaneously, one for the list of strengthened areas and one for the weaknesses. People use it to hide the weakness areas or the areas where they use it to weak. No, don't do that. Be unbiased to yourself. Write down the area where you are having stronghold, as well as write down the areas where you are having real-time weaknesses. You're having not that strong of a hold there, right? Mm, you can see we can create this kind of a list of our strength and the weaknesses. Clearly, you can see all the strength and part is listed in the strength listing, and the weakness part is listed in the weakness listing. The strength, like I am very athletic, action oriented, um, very much courageous, disciplined, energetic. These are the positive words, or these are basically strength of mind. And in the weaknesses, it's written as aggressive, close-minded, uh, ignorant, intensive, whatever maybe you self-align yourself, you actually self-analyzes yourself and check out the words or check out your strength and the weaknesses and list like this. Okay, we are just moving ahead now for the next topic. Upon next, we need to identify our interest areas and the abilities of ours. Means there we identified our strengthened areas and the weaknesses. Here we need to identify our interest and abilities. Means what are the things which is actually a kind of a, I am having kind of an interest upon that, and I am able to do certain works with an ease. That's my ability. So we need to understand or identify that as well. Now, what is the abilities of ours? The abilities are the natural strength that comes easily to us without making special effort, without making any extra effort. Now, what is the matter of interest to us? The interests are the activities that we enjoy doing. These gives us immense satisfaction. Means whenever we do any kind of a work which is of our interest, we use it to have immense satisfaction out of it. If somebody loves to sing, if they will sing for an hour, that use it to give that person immense satisfaction. We all are born with some natural strength. These inherent strengths are also known as abilities of ours. So, our ability is something that comes naturally to us. Like the listening skills are one such ability. Similarly, the quick grasping power is another example of ability. Abilities are also sometimes termed as skill sets of ours. In fact, the words skill and ability are often used in interchangeably. Now, the interest, on the other hand, are the things or the activities you enjoy. The interest capture your attention and you try to fulfill it by doing it. Doing or work on your interest gives you ample of enjoyment and satisfaction. Interest arouse your curiosity and desire to learn more about it. One may have interest in various fields. One may enjoy cooking at home while also loves to go long rides, and one may like adventure sports and paint at home. Somebody might like singing too. Identifying your interests and abilities help you to make decisions easily in specific areas such as your career goals. In order to identify your interests and abilities, make a list of interests and abilities as you did something and for your strength and the weaknesses. The fill two columns and the sample interest and abilities list below them. Now, how you will do so? Previously, as we did with the list of items which is listed one after another, then these are my strengthened part and these are my weaknesses. So similarly, we will list down the topics or the interest areas of ours as well as the abilities of ours. Let's see how to list down the interest and abilities. Previously, as we did so, you can see like the interest areas are listed one after another, and the areas which I am powerful of, or you can rather say the abilities of R is also listed in two different lists. Uh, First, let's see what are the things mentioned in the book as an interest area of any normal person. Right? The art, the traveling, the drama, the ideas, reading, maybe somebody's interest area. So if somebody will get the job or make the career, what is their interest? Means if somebody loves to do painting, if they will become a designer or painter, or rather, you can say graphic artist or something like that, animation artist, then what will happen? They will get a kind of a ease in their work, because as those things are the interest within the interest areas of that particular person, that person can give 100% of the strength and make the full potential of their abilities and get the success very easily. Now, what's going to be the trade-off with the abilities then? One can have different or multiple abilities or skill sets. Like one mentioned below, just see that teamwork, fast learning, thinking skills, being good at using words, using equipment and machineries, animal handling skills, means these are what? Special abilities. These are the abilities one can have in, or the skill sets one can have inside of them. If they will get the opportunities to perform in accordance to their abilities, they can give the best of their efforts and can achieve the goal very easily, can perform the task very easily. So it's better understanding the interest areas and the abilities of ours before choosing our profession. Once you have identified your interest and abilities, you can easily take decisions about the things that require both of these, such as you may pick up common areas for the crucial decisions such as your career goals. Means if you will be within your interest and ability areas, you can perform better than the other areas. So it's better to choose our career options or our goals in accordance to our interests and the abilities. So that's the end of the session 2. We will meet once again in session number 3.